Welcome once again. Thank you for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about 5 techniques to help you enhance your adaptability. Now, what is adaptability? Well, we live in an ever-changing world. Things change. You cannot expect things to stay the way they are. So the best thing to do is to figure out how you can be adaptable, how you will adapt and adjust to change and thrive in a changing environment. And here are the 5 techniques. So first and foremost, the first technique is having a growth mindset. And I have mentioned a growth mindset probably in 10 different videos. It is one of the most critical things you need to have. And the best way to explain the growth mindset is to contrast it with a fixed mindset. Very simple. A fixed mindset person, when they see a wall, they're like, oh, well, there's a wall, what can I do? A growth mindset person sees a wall and says, well, I wonder if there's a door in it. I wonder if I can find a ladder and climb over it, right? A fixed mindset person sees a locked door and says, oh, well, it's locked, what can I do? The growth mindset person goes looking for a key. If they're overly ambitious, they go looking for a crowbar or hammer to break the door. Don't be that way, but you know what I mean. Find a solution. Now, one example of growth mindset that I've given multiple times is myself. Right? I have learned over the years to do my videos on the phone. I mentioned my earlier videos were from 2014 were on this contraption with a separate camera, all kinds of gadgets. And now I'm able to do that with a gyro stabilized thing and a phone. But I had to learn those things. I did not look at it as when technology changed. I did not look at it as, oh my God, it's an obstacle, what do I do? I was like, oh well, it's something new. Let me figure out how to use it. Now, it involved countless YouTube videos watching, talking to people, including my son, hey, how does this work? But that is how I did it. I accepted that as an opportunity rather than a barrier and chose to. A second step, the second technique is being curious and open to new experiences. It sounds strange when I say it, but think of it this way. When you see something new, when there's something new that comes along, be open to trying it out, right? Don't be afraid of it. You may like it, you may not, whether that be food, whether that be technology, right? You may like it, you may not like it, but the point is you will not know until you try it. So try it and then, learn about it. If you don't like it, okay, you don't have to do it again, but at least be open to trying new things, learning about new things, embracing new things, and then deciding, as opposed to forming an opinion of, hey, it is new and different, so I don't like it. Next technique number 3, is to always enhance your problem-solving skills. All right? There's not just one way to hammer a nail into a wall. Yes, the easiest way, or the way we've been taught, is to use a hammer. Well, I can hammer that same nail into a wall with a nice piece of rock or a stone or something. There are more than one way. It may not be the ideal way, but it is one way, right? So you have to figure out, when you see a challenge and you don't have the right tools, think of, what else can I do to solve this, right? What else can I do to make this work? So always think in terms of problem solving. Technique number 4 is developing emotional resilience, emotional strength. Now, I have talked about this prior also. What does that mean? It means being calm and accepting in difficult situations, right? It is very easy when things go wrong to just get frustrated, get upset, get angry, get flustered. It takes practice. It takes practice to say, things are going wrong. Let me breathe deeply. Let me think. Calm down. Okay? I'm not saying don't react. That would be unhuman, right? It is human nature to react. But learn how to control after that initial reaction, calm yourself down and start thinking in terms of solutions rather than in terms of problems. Last technique is to seek feedback and learn from it. So when I started doing videos, right, using my phone and things like that, it is not my normal forte, right? Because I told you before, I used to use, all these contraptions. Well, guess what I did? I went to my son because he is of that generation and he is very familiar. And when I did a couple of videos, I'm like, hey son, look at these things and tell me what you think. And he looked at them and then he said, I don't think this is right. I don't like the way this is. I wouldn't watch it. Well, okay, Corey, what would you watch? So he told me, he said, I prefer it this way. These things. He gave me 4 or 5 ideas. And yes, he's my son, but I was willing to accept his ideas and I made those changes. Then I went back to him again. Look at this now, Corey, and tell me. And he said, oh, that I would watch. So always be willing to seek and accept feedback. Adapting to change becomes easier the more you practice. If you look at these 5 ideas that I gave you, the 5 techniques, they are all interlinked. The more you practice them, the more they will become innate. They will become part of your personality. And then when you face challenges, you will think in terms of adapting to those challenges. You will think in terms of overcoming and accepting those challenges versus fighting with them and getting flustered. Hope you find this helpful.